Welcome to Barefoot in America. We are filming today from Prescott, Arizona. It's spelled Prescott, but the locals say Prescott. And we're in an area known as Diamond Valley, where there used to be mining for gemstones and diamonds. And you'll see at the end of the video the photos of just the giant rocks. And we hiked to some petroglyphs today and just had a lovely day here in Prescott. So today I'm just going to invite you to join me on the mat for some more hip openers. Recently a yoga student asked me about opening her hips, and just want to share with you that it's just as important to strengthen your hips as it is to stretch them, because when things are stretched out or become weak, then that's when the tension is created to create some stability. So if we can keep them strong and flexible, it's really the goal, which is really the goal for a whole body and part of why we practice yoga, as well as that tuning inward and getting more and more in touch with ourself through body awareness. So start just by sitting nice and tall on your mat. I'm going to invite you to feel your sits bones, and I have a blanket under my buttocks. You can add any kind of prop like a block or blanket to help give you a little rise, so that you can tune into the ischial tuberosities of the pelvis, known as your sits bones, and really feel them connect to the surface beneath you. And maybe rock your hips a couple times forward and back and feel that place where you're balanced on those two sits bones in your pelvis. And take a moment to just feel yourself centered there, grounded and rooted and connecting to the earth through the hips. And through this foundation of the hips, feel a rise in your spine, a nice long lengthened spine with its natural curves, inward in the low back, out in the upper back, back in at the neck. And the crown of your head reach into the sky. Notice your shoulders over your hips, your head over your shoulders, hands resting on your lap. Take a couple deep cleansing breaths. Really get in touch with the ebb and flow of your breath. And bring hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra, taking a moment to set an intention for your practice today. From here, relax your hands at your side. Send your legs straight out in front of you. I'm just going to work with the earth here. Send your legs straight out in front of you for Dandasana. Sit nice and tall, hands by your hips. Press into the earth, lengthen your spine. Press out of your heels. Feel your inner thighs engage. Hug the legs together. Breath full and deep. Inhale the arms up. Reach long. And exhale, give your right leg a hug. Simply pull the right knee to the chest and feel your big toe knuckle ground, your little toe knuckle ground, center of the heel plant to the mat. Maybe the foot's right next to the left inner thigh, or maybe there's a little space so you can really feel your foot grounded. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, give your right leg a hug, twisting to your right. Lengthen your spine, right fingertips behind you. Lift your heart. Rotate the head, gazing out over the right shoulder. And sense as you hug your right knee, there might be a stretch occurring in your right hip. Take a breath in it. And on the exhale, simply recoil back to center. Send your right leg straight out in front of you. Squeeze the legs together again. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, give your left leg a hug. Bring the knee to the chest. And again, ground the foot. Big toe knuckle, little toe knuckle, center of the heel. Right leg straight and strong. Left leg, foot grounded. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, give the leg a hug, twisting to your left. Fingertips behind you to help you prop upright with an elongated spine. And gaze out over the left shoulder. Take a breath in it. On your exhale, recoil back to center. Extend your left leg. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, give your right leg a hug. Your choice, keep it here or cross it over. Inhale the left arm up. Give the right leg a hug, fingertips behind you. Lengthen your spine, twisting to the right. And maybe now experience a deeper stretch in your hip with the leg crossed over if you chose to take that shape. On your exhale, recoil back to center. Extend your right leg out in front of you. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, give the left leg a hug. And again, choose if you want it there or cross it over the other leg. Inhale the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, give your left leg a hug, fingertips behind you. Lengthen the spine. Breath full and deep. Inhaling and exhaling. On your exhale, recoil back to center. Extend your left leg out in front of you. Your choice now. You could bend the left knee, pointing it forward, or keep it straight. We're going to cross the right leg over. Taking this to half Lord of the Fishes now, and I suggest for most of us putting a block underneath our buttocks. So this helps give a little bit of rise to the spine to maintain the length in the spine. And you may want your second block behind you. Again, ground the right foot to the best of your abilities. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. Your choice here, hug the right knee or elbow to the outside of the knee. Right hand finds the block or earth behind you. Lengthen your spine. Feel both hips root, twisting, gazing out over your right shoulder. Again, breath full and deep. Feel the hip opener. Sense that in your hips. And on the exhale, recoil back to center. Switch the fold of the legs. Right knee pointing forward. Left leg crosses over. Feel the shape, and if you prefer to have your right leg straight, go for it. Center your hips on your block. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, give the left leg a hug or hook the elbow to the outside of the thigh, lengthening your spine, twisting to the left. Hand finds the block behind you, gazing out over your left shoulder. Breath full and deep. Relax and recoil back to center. This time, stack your left knee on top of the right for Gomukhasana, cow face posture. The left knee is going to stack on the right. The feet are out to the right and left. And if you can't achieve this posture with your legs, by all means, take an easy cross-legged posture with your left leg on top. Since the right leg is on the bottom, the right arm is going to be on top. Inhale, float your right arm up to the sky. Reach nice and long. Let your elbow bend, let your hand touch your back. Take your left hand, grab your right elbow. Just lengthen your spine and just get anchored here. And take a moment to press the back of your head into your arm. Stay upright as you take your left hand down and around behind your back. Maybe it rests in the small of your back, maybe it's to your mid-back, and maybe your fingers touch for cow face posture. Hold the stretch with a nice, long, tall spine, creating the stretch in both the shoulders and the hips now. Breathing easily and deeply. Release your arms. Switch the fold of the legs, stacking the right knee on top of the left knee. Feet are out to the side. If you need an easy cross-legged posture, take it. And now the left arm inhales up towards the sky. Bend the elbow, hand behind your back. Reach your right arm up to grab your left elbow and just get settled in here. Back of head pressing into the left arm. Right arm comes down around, finding the small of your back. mid-back, and possibly your fingertips. Just try not to have to bend forward to get further. See what you can do with a nice long spine. And breathe into the shape. Feel your heart opening, the spine lifted. This simple stretch in the hips and shoulders. And then release. We're going to uncross the legs, come to all fours, hands and knees. And just take a moment here in all fours to walk your hands forward for puppy posture. The hips in the air stacked right over the knees to get a nice deep stretch in our hips and buttocks. Take a breath in it. Inhale back to all fours and control your descent down to the mat. Elbows hug your ribs, chest before your belly, and maybe a blanket to rest your forehead upon. Arms can relax at your side. And simply lengthen the legs. Press out of your legs. Feel your pelvis on the mat and float the right leg to the sky, just hovering it from the mat. Feel the right pelvis anchored to the mat. Exhale it down. Inhale, float the left leg up like you're reaching out of your tiptoes. And exhale it down and alternating right and left with breath. Inhale, float the right leg up. Exhale it down. Inhale, float the left leg up. Exhale it down. One more each side. Right leg floats up. Exhale it down and left leg floats up. Exhale it down. Turn your head to the left. Reach back with your hand or a strap, grabbing your left ankle. And once you get here, really think of pressing the hip points, the pubic bone, the pelvis into the mat. Growing long out of the front of the left thigh. Knees close to one another. And if you want a little bit more, press your foot into your hand to create just a smidgen of a lift. Stretching your quad hip flexor, your psoas. Releasing the left leg, turning your head to the right. Reach back and grab your right ankle or foot. Using your hand or a strap. Knees close to one another. Pelvis rooting to the mat. Growing long out of the front of the right knee. Maybe pressing foot in the hand to create this little bit of lift. Release. Exhale, lower it down. Bend your left knee. Bring your heel towards your buttock. And then slowly lower it down again. Bend your left knee and just notice if there's any wobble of the foot right to left, and do your best to keep it steady, pulling the heel towards the buttock and lowering it back down. And one more time, bending the left knee, heel towards the buttock. And exhaling it down. And now the right leg, bending the knee, heel towards the buttock. And again, notice if there's any bobble right to left. Exhaling it down. Bending it again. And if you feel that wobble, it's just a little bit of potential for improved strength in the hip to control that leg bending and straightening now. Right in that track, that line, if you draw a line from your heel to your glute and lower it back down along that track. And now bend your left knee 90 degrees and just let your left foot fall out to the side, but keep your pelvis on the ground. Bring it to the center and let it fall in, keeping your pelvis on the ground. Back to center. Let it fall out again. And back to center. And let it fall in again. Back to center. One more time. Falling out. And so this is just to sense the hip medial and lateral rotation. Letting it go in. Feeling how the ball rolls in the socket of the pelvis. Finding center. Lower the left leg down. Maybe feel like your left leg is longer than your right after that. And then bend your right knee to 90 degrees. Sole of foot to the sky. Right foot falls out to the side. Bring it to center, and then it falls in. Bring it to center and let it fall out. And this is where I have a lot of tightness and I have to really be mindful. And bring it to center and let it fall in. And I'm more flexible this way, but I have to be mindful not to let my pelvis lift. And center one more time. Bring it out, center, and in, and center. Relaxing the right leg down. In the last sequence, bend your left knee. Knee at 90 degrees, flex the dickens out of your ankle, and imagine pressing your foot to the sky and let it down. And do your best to keep your pelvis on the mat. Lift and lower. And lift the foot and lower. And you'll likely barely clear the mat with the knee bent because the hip flexors are tight on most of us. Just do your best to lift and lower. Just a couple more times. And then set the left leg down and bend your right knee. Feel that 90 degrees at your knees, flexing the ankle strongly, and press the foot to the sky and let it down. And press it up. Feel yourself strengthening your buttocks. Lift it up. Feel the ball of the femur, the long bone of the thigh, moving in the socket of the hip. And that's why it's not a big range of motion. But doing this helps us keep some strength in our stride when we walk, some flexibility, and some tone. Just one more on this right side. Pause in the center, lower it down. And squeeze your legs together like one. And take a moment to just hover both legs. And if you want, hover your chest and head from the mat, gazing at the mat. Arms could be in a cactus or even take airplane wings. Squeeze your inner thighs together, stronger, stronger, stronger. Exhale, let it all down. And squeeze your legs together again. Feel them as one. Hover them from the mat. Lift the head and chest. Last time. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale to a cobra. Exhale back to a child's pose. Take a couple breaths in child's. Inhale to all fours and roll to your hip and your backside. And take a moment to just lie on your back. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, give both knees a hug. Pause in the center. Root your sacrum to the earth and send both feet to the sky. Long out of your heels. And as you press up with your heels, press down with your sacrum and tailbone. Feel your shoulders press into the mat. Hold for a breath. And then open the legs wide into a V, pressing out of your heels. Feel the inner thigh stretch. Take a breath in it. Sacrum rooted to the earth, shoulders rooted, lengthening the legs. And then bend the knees deeply to your shoulders. If you like, grab your ankles or the outside edge of your feet. Take the soles of the feet to the sky and squeeze the knees in towards the arms, rooting your sacrum. For happy baby. Draw the knees together. Set the feet down on the mat. Let the knees fall open. Supta Baddha Konasana. Arms relax away from the body. Give yourself just 5 or 6 deep cleansing breaths. Feeling everything softening and surrendering. Everything melting. And with each passing breath, the legs heavier, more relaxed. And if this posture is not comfortable for you, blocks under the knees are always welcome to support you. On your next exhale, draw the knees together, lower the legs down, And take the time here to pause in Shavasana as long as you have time to just lie here in your final resting posture. I thank you for joining me on the mat today. Wishing you just the most beautiful day and experience in life. And from my heart to yours, namaste.